Here we go again. Browsing around YouTube, and now I see there's a bunch of white people. They don't want to give the credit to black African people again. They never want to say it. I'm checking the wiki out right now. At least they're giving the origins. They still give the origins to black people on the wiki, but I'm wondering if someone's gonna try to go in there and change that. Regardless, you got a bunch of these white people thinking that the jazz comes from this confluence of melting pot mixture of people, which is not true. Jazz is created by Africans. Now, yes, they took European instruments and some of the stuff they learned from the Creoles there, which is nothing more than mixed uh, black people with mixed origins. Like, white people had their black mistresses, pretty much their whores that they would bang, and they would have children, and then these children were allowed to participate in arts and whatnot. And one of those arts was like classical music and quote structural music. And they took a few of these other elements, and it all encompassed what they created was ragtime, this foundation of jazz. You can read about it on Wiki, though I suggest you actually get a book and go through all the different timelines of jazz. Whatever the case may be, you got these Europeans who do not want to admit that it's an African American created art form, and this is something that you need to pay attention to as black people. I mean, it's just like hip hop. You will have This is what happens in our culture is starting. It's slowly on the decline unless we fix it. And one thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of people rewriting history, and you best believe they're gonna, because jazz is such a big part of American history. As soon as they get the chance, they want to write down that was not. I'm gonna start looking in other dictionaries. I want to see what they're putting in about jazz, and I want to see what they're putting in there about hip hop. The same thing will happen to blues music. You'll have white people saying that they invented blues music as well. I favorited the video. They have some black jazz musicians talking about this thing that other ethnicities do to us in our creations. They always want to multiculturalize the origins of it. So this is you. You guys need to pay attention. This is why I said you cannot. All this, we do not have the luxury of all this integration and mixing itself and all that kind of stuff. The only luxury we should get from that is knowledge. Integration should have been just a tool you use where you can go meet and gather and take things that maybe someone over here learned and then take it back to your people. That's all integration should have been. It should have been used as an empowerment tool. But now you're letting other people see. These people notice when you start talking about classical music, they're not going to say it was any European learned from an African and all this kind of nonsense. They're going to say that was a European derived thing, and they know that jazz was created by black people. Even in the wiki, they give the origins to black people in Congo Square for making it. But see, what I'm noticing on YouTube is you got a bunch of these white people, a bunch of these white composers, a bunch of these white teachers. Think these people are teachers. Imagine what they're teaching black kids. This multiculturalized bullcrap when really no, Africans created this art form. So I'm just putting the word out there so you guys can spread the word too. You guys need to pay attention to your creations, man. And we probably need to reinforce, our ancient or our ancestors' musical art forms in America. Jazz, soul, blues, rhythm and blues, the early stages of rock, which we invented that, though they don't want to give us credit for that, calling Elvis the king of rock when he's not. Chuck Berry was the king of rock. Elvis was just the early version of Eminem. Is all it is. I don't know what they're teaching at these black historical colleges, but they really need to reinforce this our cultural heritage here. Anyway, if you have any comments on this, leave a comment. I prefer video responses, but I don't mind comments as well. But people really need to be talking about it and keeping tabs on stuff like this.